It's indeed a proud occasion for all of us at the University of Colombo to be a part of this historic and momentous occasion. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the arrival of our most respected dignitaries. The chief guest for today's occasion, Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Education and Leader of the House of Parliament. Chief guest, Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development. They're accompanied by our respected invitees, Senior Professor Kapila C.K. Pereira, Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Senior Professor Chandana P. Udavatta, Vice Chairman of the University Grants Commission, Senior Professor Chandrika N. Vijayaratna, Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo, Professor Pratibha Mahanamaheva, Rector of Sri Pali Campus, Dr. L.M. Kapila Bandara, Dean, Faculty of Education and Chairman of Sports Advisory Board, University of Colombo, the Deans of all the faculties of University of Colombo, Directors of institutes and schools, Mr. K.S. Edward, the Registrar of University of Colombo, as well as all the academic and administrative staff of the university. The respected dignitaries will now be escorted towards the newly refurbished Pavilion premises, which will be officially declared open and vested with the University of Colombo community. Would like to most cordially invite Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Education and Leader of the House of Parliament, and Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, the Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development, to officially declare open by unveiling the ceremonial plaque the main pavilion of the University of Colombo, which will be henceforth vested with the university community, the sportsmen and the sportswomen of the University of Colombo. Truly a proud and momentous occasion for all of us at the university. We'd now like to invite our respected dignitaries to join with us for a few group photographs. For this endeavor, let me most cordially invite our chief guest, Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Education and Leader of the House of Parliament. Chief guest, Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development. Senior Professor Chandrika N. Vijayaratna, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo. Senior Professor Kapila C.K. Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Education. Senior Professor Chandana P. Udavatta, Vice Chairman of the University Grants Commission. Dr. L.M. Kapila Bandara, Chairman, Sports Advisory Board and Dean of the Faculty of Education. Professor Pratibha Mahanamaheva, the Rector of Sri Pali Campus. Professor A.A. Aziz, the Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies. Dr. M.P.P. Dharmadasa, Dean, Faculty of Management and Finance. Dr. Sampath Punchiheva, Dean, Faculty of Law. Professor Vajra Disanayaka, Dean, Faculty of Medicine. Professor Lasantha Manavadu, Dean, Faculty of Arts. Professor J.K. D.S. Jayanetti, Dean, Faculty of Technology. Dr. S.S.P. Varnakula Surya, Dean, Faculty of Nursing. Dr. N.P. Vidana Patirana, Director, University of Colombo Institute of Agrotech and Rural Sciences. Senior Professor H.D. Karuna Ratna, Director, Institute of Human Resources Advancement. Senior Professor Senaka Rajapaksa, Director, Postgraduate Institute of Medicine. Professor K.P. Hewa Gamage, Director, University of Colombo School of Computing. Dr. Nihal Padmasuri, the Director of the Career Guidance Unit. Dr. D.C. Kurupu, Acting Librarian. Mr. K.S. Edward, the Registrar of the University of Colombo. Dr. K.D.I. Vasudeva, Senior Medical Officer of the Health Center. Mr. Mahin De Silva and Ms. Pamudi Salpadoru, representing the Amalgamated Club for the years 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, our most respected dignitaries will now make their way towards the main marquee. Greetings and a warm welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to start off the ceremonious proceedings for today. We'll start off with the lighting of the traditional oil lamp, marking the official commencement of the opening ceremony of the newly refurbished Pavilion complex. Let me most cordially invite the following respected dignitaries for this endeavor. Chief guest of today's occasion, Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Education and Leader of the House of Parliament. Chief guest, Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development. Senior Professor K. Kapila C.K. Pereira, Secretary to the Ministry of Education. Senior Professor Chandana P. Udavatta, Vice Chairman, University Grants Commission. Senior Professor Chandrika N. Vijay Ratna, Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo. Professor Pratibha Mahana Maheva, Rector of Sri Pali Campus. Dr. L.M. Kapila Bandara, Dean, Faculty of Education and Chairman, Sports Advisory Board, University of Colombo. Professor Lasantha Manavadu, Dean, Faculty of Arts. Dr. Sampath Punchaheva, Dean, Faculty of Law. Professor M.P.P. Dharmadasa, Dean, Faculty of Management and Finance. Professor Vajra Disanayaka, Dean, Faculty of Medicine. Professor J.K.D.S. Jayanetti, Dean, Faculty of Technology. Dr. S.S.P. Varnakulasuriya, Dean, Faculty of Nursing. Professor A.A. Aziz, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies. Representing all directors and institutes of schools, Professor K.P. Hewa Gamage, Director, University of Colombo School of Computing, and Professor H.D. Karuna Ratna, Director, Institute of Human Resources Advancement. Mr. K.S. Edward, Registrar of University of Colombo. Mr. Sanjeeva Jayasinghe, Acting Director of Physical Education Department, University of Colombo. And representing the undergraduates, Mr. Mahin De Silva, President of the Amalgamated Club of the University of Colombo. Thank you very much. Once again, greetings of the day and a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the opening ceremony of the newly refurbished Pavilion complex of the University of Colombo. This iconic structure right beside us, the main pavilion of the University of Colombo, was built way back in the 1930s and is considered what we call a home away from home of all the sportsmen and sportswomen at the University of Colombo. Over the years, its conditions deteriorated, but after many years, a much-needed upgrade and a complete refurbishment of the main pavilion was carried out, commencing in the year 2021. Under the guidance that was of the university administration and with special assistance from Sri Lanka Cricket, both which we gratefully remind at this point. of the great value and assistance not just to the sportsmen and sportswomen, but to the entire university community. On that note, starting off today's proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka, the island of paradise, with captivating and enchanting charms. The island's spell, snared by an age-old magic of scorching sun, great green waters, purple dusks, gushing waterfalls, rising blue mountains, and starry heavens, the wonders of the country of oasis. Colombo, the heart of the evergreen island, shrouded by the waters of magnificent sea. The city of promises, kindling in all hearts a hope of tomorrow. The harmonious blend of all races whispers to the ear the unheard stories of glorious past, rejuvenating the town center. University of Colombo. The pioneering academia of the history of higher seats of learning in Sri Lanka, the most respected and acclaimed higher seat of learning of the nation, a legacy of intellectuals located in the heart of Colombo. The initiative nucleus of the academic atmosphere was formed by amalgamating the Ceylon Medical College, founded in 1870, and the Ceylon University College in 1921, which were incorporated into the university later. By April 1942, the University of Colombo was established by the State Council. The first Vice-Chancellor of the new university, Sir Ivo Jennings, architect of academic nature in Sri Lanka. From colonialism to modernity, over 148 years of an uninterrupted stand with multicultural, multi-ethnic and multi-religious student and staff population, fostering social harmony, cultural diversity, unity and equal opportunity. Strive to be a center of excellence of regional and international repute, building synergies between knowledge, education, research and entrepreneurship. It is our vision. The University of Colombo comprises around 185 degree programs, about 25,000 students, 700 academics and researchers. Varsity with the power of empowering the nation. We excel at promoting student-centered teaching practices, self-directed learning through assignments which foster discovery of knowledge, creative productions, and collaborative projects. Our 9 faculties, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in nature, and strengthened by 56 academic departments, a campus, a school, 7 institutes, and 8 centers. The university widens foreign and local undergraduates' horizons to face the global challenges ahead of them. Faculty of Graduate Studies offers diploma and postgraduate courses of a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary nature, concentrating on capacity building by entering into linkages with the outside world to equip the youth with all necessary knowledge. We work hand in hand with outside corporate sectors to ensure that the university caters to the needs of the day. The library supports the university vision with up-to-date materials, books, and other resources where both staff and students communicate and express their creative and scholarly ideas in respective disciplines. The international unit of the University of Colombo is proud to have links with almost all internationally recognized universities, with the view of providing scholars with the latest global scholarships. The warm and friendly academic atmosphere, together with recreational facilities and other services through experience of enjoyment, physical fitness, and increased self-confidence opportunities for togetherness, are also parts of our academic endeavors. Heading to Metropolitan University, surrounded by modern and international outlook and character, with easy access to international information and resource centers, libraries, theaters, sports complexes, and other facilities. Modern technology incorporates with scientific research, blends into writers, poets, critics, and artists, maintaining international academic standards, contributing to the national capital, and stepping into globalization with high academic profiles. Inspired by the past, we shape the future towards the 21st century. University of Colombo. Wisdom.
Now move on to extend an affable welcome to all our dignitaries, special invitees, and to everyone who's present here today with us. Please welcome the students of the Faculty of Medicine, and this will be but a reflection of a glimpse of the vast pool of talent that the University of Colombo is immensely proud of.
श्रीदेव भगवतो मुनिराज शरणं गत कुंद कृत कुंद जिन कुंद वर्णं पद कमल मुदुनति मुनि वन्दमानं किट जेनु श्री पद्म वन्दामि सततं
අත විහිද යන දය නාගනු හඬ අස අසා නිර්ත කරනන මෙරඟ පසිමුව ආයුබෝවන් ආවඩා ඇස්වා ගාට බා
Once again, we express our gratitude to our very own undergraduates from the Faculty of Medicine. Let me now take this opportunity to invite the Chairman of the Sports Advisory Board of the University of Colombo and Dean Faculty of Education, Dr. L.M. Kapila Bandara, to deliver the welcome address.
Subodasanak, Kale Vanakkam, and good morning. Our chief guest, special invitees, deans, faculties of the University of Colombo, directors, institutes of the University of Colombo, and all the distinguished invitees. It is indeed a great honor as the chairman of the Sports Advisory Board of the University of Colombo to have this opportunity to welcome you all for the opening ceremony of the Pavilion of the University of Colombo. I believe this is a memorable occasion for the University of Colombo since it is the fulfillment of a major requirement of our university sports. Let me welcome you all. First and foremost, our chief guest at the today's event, Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Education, and Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister for the Digital Technology and Enterprise Development. Honorable Sirs, I bid a very warm welcome to the opening ceremony of the refurbished Pavilion of the University of Colombo. We are indeed honored to have you here with us. On behalf of the University of Colombo, I would also like to warmly welcome our special guest senior professor, K. Kapila C.K. Pereira, the Secretary, Minister of Education. Also very warmly welcome our Vice Chairman, the University Grant Commission. Dear sir, very warmly welcome to this event. A warm welcome to our special guest, Senior Professor Chandrika and Vijayaratna, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo, who has contributed immensely to make this event reality. Dear Madam, your untiring service throughout this whole project has not gone unnoticed. Next, I warmly welcome the Rector Sripali campus of the University of Colombo, all the deans of the faculties of the University of Colombo, directors of the institutes of the University of Colombo. I warmly welcome the Registrar of the University of Colombo, the Senior Student Counselor of the University of Colombo, and all the faculty representatives of the Sports Advisory Board, and the directors of the centers and institutes of the University of Colombo. My warm welcome goes to Mr. Sanjeeva Jayasinghe, the Acting Director of Physical Education, and all the staff members of the Department of Physical Education. Dear colleagues, your dedication and teamwork is highly appreciated. Last not least, also very warmly welcome all the members of the amalgamated club, the University of Colombo, and all the other members and distinguished invitees. Very warmly welcome you for the Pavilion opening ceremony of the University of Colombo. Finally, I end my welcome speech by declaring that the aim of the University of Colombo is to produce a proactive graduate who can face any challenges and situation emerge in the future. The goal of education is also the same. That is the all-round drawing out the best of an individual. Academic activities itself is not sufficient to achieve this goal. Sports as an extracurricular activities is one of the best pathways to develop the attributes required of an all-rounder. Therefore, we have to encourage our students to engage in sports activities, and it is our responsibility to establish a healthy environment and develop facilities for the university sports. Part of this responsibility has been fulfilled today. Since we had the honor of the presence of our ministers of sports, youth and sports, as well as the Minister of Education in this event today, we are confident that you will help in the upliftment of sports in the University of Colombo. So thank you very much, sir. Welcome very warmly.
Thank you very much, sir. Sports at the University of Colombo has always been a highlight. The illustrious sporting journey that the University of Colombo is extremely proud of comprises of a number of international level, national level, as well as university level achievements. The newly refurbished pavilion, which was vested with the university community today, will be a new home for all the sportsmen and sportswomen of the university. This is a short documentary on the pavilion complex. This opportunity to most cordially invite our chief guest, Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development, to address today's gathering.
Honorable Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Secretary to the Education Ministry, and also representatives from the Colombo University, all the faculty heads, heads of the advisory committee of the sports sector in the university, and distinguished guests. First of all, let me congratulate the Colombo University for investing in sports. Honorable Minister, we believe in order to create an active nation and also to have or create an athlete who can win the global competition, we need to make sure that we work very closely with the Education Ministry. And also we create intellectual athletes. Because today the global context has changed. And sports have not only become very competitive, but it also has become very highly technologically savvy, and also it is very pretty much mixed with science and technology. So we believe the investment that the Colombo University is putting in sports will not only excel your university ranking, but also will allow and encourage more youngsters to get engaged in sports. And we know how well your university has done in inter-university tournaments. And we believe now it's right time for you to take one step ahead and compete in the global sector as well. Because we know when we look at most of the countries who have done really well in sports, their schools and university sporting structure is very strong. And most of the national champions are created in universities. And best example is most of our athletes goes on scholarship abroad based on their sporting qualification. So which means most of those universities gives high priority for athletes who can do well in various sports. And as a Minister of Sports and Youth, I strongly believe that the coordination and collaboration with the Ministry of Education is key for a long-term sporting structure. We have done a master plan or a blueprint for Sri Lanka sports, which we are looking at 2032 Olympics. So road to 2032 Olympics starting from 2022, because we believe we need a long-term strategy. So an athlete who wins hopeful, a medal hopeful in 2032 is probably still doing his grade 5 examination or doing his GC O levels at this stage. So we need to work closely with the Education Ministry, which the Education Ministry, the Honorable Minister, Secretary, is very much helpful for the Ministry of Sports. And also we believe that the ministry has to go where sport is. Because we have a culture that the sportsmen and men and women has to come to the ministry. But we believe it has to be the other way around. All associations affiliated to Ministry of Sports and all the departments under the Ministry of Sports has to go and find where the athletes are and invest on them. That's why we believe that the Sri Lanka Cricket and all other organizations are investing in school sector, universities, and even in rural infrastructure development. Honorable President has created a special state ministry just to make sure that the school infrastructure and university infrastructure being looked after in sports. So let me congratulate University of Colombo for all the hard work and the achievements you have made in the past. And I'm sure and hopeful that you will be able to contribute more to the sports, just like you have done to the academic sector, that you can contribute more to the sporting sector. And as the Minister and Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena, the Minister for Education, we are committed to help and assist in any way that you need from our side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Let me kindly request you to remain on stage to receive a token of appreciation, and to present this token, let me most cordially invite the Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo, Senior Professor Chandrika N. Vijayaratna. Would like to once again extend our gratitude to our chief guest, Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development, for all the assistance and for gracing today's occasion. With that, let me most cordially invite Senior Professor Chandrika N. Vijayaratna, the Vice Chancellor of University of Colombo, to speak a few words.
Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Education and Leader of the House, who just left, having been here with us from morning. Honorable Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development. Professor Kapila C.K. Pereira, Secretary Education, Vice Chairman of the UGC, Chairman and members of the Sports Advisory Board, which includes all the representatives from all the faculties, campus, school, and also the institutes. Chairman and officials representing the Sri Lanka Cricket Board, acting director and staff of a very hard-working group of personnel from the Physical Education Division at the University of Colombo, Rector Sri Pali campus, deans and directors, heads of departments, academic staff, as well as our registrar, Bursa, acting librarian, and senior administrative and financial officials, including the works engineer, the project manager, and divisional members. My dear students, staff, alumni, as well as our corporate sector partners who use these grounds as their own. A very warm welcome on behalf of the University of Colombo. And I must reiterate that today is a red letter day in our university's not only sporting history, but the overall history, being 101 years in science and the arts, humanities, and 151 years, 52 years really, in medical education. So we started, as was stated, commissioning the 21st century expansion and restoration of our magnificent monument, which is so unique to not only our university grounds, but as a highlight of the city of Colombo, the Pavilion. So I'm certain that today's event will touch the hearts of generations of sportsmen and women, and not only those, but all our students and staff of yesteryear, today and tomorrow, and no doubt our partners. We are overcome with nostalgia, with the rekindling of beautiful memories of our university sporting days. Our university sports ground is immersed in this long history, and we have a large perimeter of several halls of learning, some dating back to the 19th century. While being the first choice as a venue for many sporting events around, be it cricket, soccer, athletics, netball, basketball, baseball, etc., we are also looking forward to having a swimming pool complex, hopefully in the far corner on this right side. This was actually part of the original Soisa estate, so I must pay tribute to that family for having bequeathed this as philanthropist, the great and famous philanthropist, Sir Charles Henry de Soisa. So let us recall with much pleasure and pride the role of the sports, as our Honourable Minister so aptly described, particularly the Cricket Board, the administration and finance and daily protectors, and let us hope and pray for a good number of centuries for this pavilion. So thank you so much, and a very good morning to you.
Thank you very much, Madam, for continuously providing us with all the advices, guidance, and assistance. With that, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome on stage Sanju Wickramasinghe.
दिल का दरिया बह ही गया, इश्क इबादत बन ही गया, खुद को मुझे तू सौंप दे, मेरी जरूरत तू बन गया, बात दिल की नजरों ने की, सच कह रहा चाहने लगे हम तेरे बिन अब न लेंगे एक भी दम तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम तेरे साथ हो जाएंगे खत्म तुझे कितना चाहने लगे हम तुझे कितना चाहने लगे
Thank you very much for that energetic performance, Sanju. You never fail to amaze us. Ladies and gentlemen, Sanju Wickramasinghe is an undergraduate of the Faculty of Management and Finance and also the current captain of the university karate team. So thank you very much once again, Sanju. Let me now take this opportunity to invite Mr. K.S. Edward, the Registrar of the University of Colombo, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning to all of you. The Honorable Minister of Education, Mr. Dinesh Gunawardena, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Namal Rajapaksa, respected Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Professor Kapila Pereira, respected Vice Chairman of the UGC, Professor Chandana P. Udavatta, the Vice Chancellor of University of Colombo, Professor Chandrika and Vijayaratna, respected council members, rector, deans of the faculties, directors of the institutes, sports board chairman, Dr. Kapila Bandara, the acting librarian, the Bursa, administrative and finance officers, the heads of the departments, professors, associate professors, the members of the sports advisory board and the staff of the Department of Physical Education, headed by Acting Director Mr. Sanjeev Jayasinghe and Assistant Registrar Ms. Nishadi Dimalka Hattotuwa, all the academic support and non-academic staff, the distinguished invitees, members of the Amalgamated Club, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great privilege for me to deliver the vote of thanks on this grand, memorable occasion of the opening ceremony of the refurbished Pavilion of the University of Colombo. First and foremost, I take this great opportunity to express our sincere thanks and heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Minister of Education, Mr. Dinesh Gunawardena. I would like to extend my deep sense of gratitude and indebtedness to the Honorable Minister of Sport, Mr. Namal Rajapaksa, for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion despite your busy schedules and sharing your inspirational thoughts in your speech. I also wish our express sincere thanks to Professor Kapila Pereira, the Secretary of the Ministry of Education, for gracing this occasion. On behalf of the University of Colombo, I wish to extend our deep sense of gratitude. The Vice Chairman of the UGC, Professor Chandana P. Udavatta. We are sincerely indebted to the Vice Chairman of UGC for your inspiring thoughts, and you help us, the University of Colombo, to upgrade the status of the University of Colombo. We are profoundly thankful to the members of the Council for their potential contributions, unstinted support, and valuable guidance for the uplift of the status of the University of Colombo throughout the years. I would like to extend my deep sense of gratitude and indebtedness to Sri Lanka Cricket for their donation of rupees 10 million to refurbish this decades-old pavilion. My special thanks go to Madam Vice Chancellor Professor Chandrika and Vijayaratna for your invaluable guidance, leadership and encouragement and inspirational thoughts to refurbish this decades-old pavilion. Let me also express my thanks to the Sports Board Chairman, Dr. Kapila Bandara, and the members of the Sports for gracing this occasion and untiring effort by the staff of the Department of Physical Education, headed by Acting Director Mr. Sanjeeva Jayasinghe and Assistant Registrar Ms. Nishadi Dimalkahittu to upscale the status of this historic pavilion. We are also pleased to mention on this occasion that the members of the Amalgamated Club and the students of the university are in the proudest segment of the University of Colombo to witness this grand occasion. I would like to thank them for their contribution to upscale the sports activities in the University of Colombo. My heartfelt thanks to rector, deans of the faculties, directors of the institutes, acting librarian, bursa, administrative and finance of the university department units, professors, associate professors, academic and academic support staff, and non-teaching staff for gracing this occasion and for their valuable contribution, guidance and encouragement in all your efforts. I wish to thank all the distinguished invitees, representatives of alumni organizations for accepting our invitation and being present here to grace this historical occasion. I thank the members of the media for evincing interest in covering the entire event and all good hearts who work behind the screen. I take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Mohammed Assar, our project manager and his team, Mr. Rahal Aberatna, works engineer and his team, Mr. Prasad, curator and his team for their professional involvement to refurbish this pavilion. I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Ruan Piris, the contractor of this project, and his team for their untiring effort to complete the work. I also express my special gratitude to Dr. Hiran Jayavira and FOS Media, Faculty of Science Media team for their hard work and commitment to make this event a great success. My special thanks goes to Mr. Lakshita Idrisinghe for completing this occasion. Also, I would like to record my sincere thanks to the dancing group from the Faculty of Medicine and the Faculty of Management Finance. Last but not least, let me express my special thanks and gratitude to our organizing team, Senior Assistant Registrar General Administration, the marshals, security officers, the staff and the janitorial staff for your untiring service, commitment and support to make this event a grand and resounding success. Once again, I thank you all for your enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, we mark the conclusion of the official opening ceremony of the newly refurbished pavilion of the University of Colombo. Once again, we are extremely grateful for all your valued presence, which truly goes down as a memorable occasion of the history of the University of Colombo. We'd like to invite our chief guest, our respected dignitaries, and all our special invitees to join us for refreshments at the newly refurbished pavilion complex itself. And we thank each and every one of you once again for being a part of this occasion. That's it from us for today. Have a great day.